Hi world, welcome to this video. This is Tina from TinaHeals.com and I'm remaking 4 videos in one because I already made these videos but the sound was really bad. So I'm remaking Pluto through Aries, Taurus, Gemini and Cancer. Okay, so bear with me. This will be a slightly longer video. You can leave a timestamp underneath so people can access it. So Pluto, it is such a mysterious planet. It is icy cold. It has its own system of moons around it, and basically, think of how the caterpillar becomes the butterfly. That, my friend, is Pluto. Think of how the snake sheds its skin, okay, and regenerates itself. That is Pluto, okay. Now, Pluto is the god of the netherworlds in Roman mythology, and his Greek counterpart is Hades. So what do you think this netherworld symbolizes? It symbolizes our unconscious. So the conscious mind cannot ever truly comprehend the unconscious. Okay, that's why Scorpio is so mysterious. Pluto rules Scorpio, the 8th sign of the zodiac. And inside real astrology, Pluto is not used for predictions or for archetypes because Pluto is not one of the 5 traditional planets. But if you want to explain to a sidereal astrologer what Pluto truly stands for, just tell them everything to do with the 8th house is Pluto, and bam, you get it right, and they get it right. Okay, and you penetrate through their awareness, and you explain to them what Pluto is. Now, Pluto rules our primal urges and our fear. And Pluto is here to show us how to transmute that fear into greater awareness. Fear need not incapacitate us. Fear can also be our greatest strength. So Bran Stark from Game of Thrones, so he had a conversation with his dad, Ned Stark. He thought about bravery, okay, and he asked his dad. He said, "Can a man be brave if he's afraid?" So Ned Stark turns around in his Ned Stark way and he says, "Well, my son, this is the only time that a man can be brave." So do you see the dichotomy? Our fear can be our greatest strength. What doesn't kill you does make you stronger. Okay. Now, Pluto rules everything 8th house. Inheritance, shared resources, alimony, debt, taxes, hegemony, power, control, death, birth, regeneration, metamorphosis, obsession, okay, coercion, viruses, waste, terrorism, scandals, shadow governments, puppet dictators, intuition, everything that's hidden. Okay, it's very intuitive, very psychic energy. With Pluto, there's no cogitation, there's no thinking about the archetype of Pluto. It's instinctual awareness. You just know it, left or right. You know, it's that raw gut feeling. Okay. Now, it rules over 2 of our very important processes: our reproductive system, it rules over, and our elimination processes. Okay, it tells me that it tells all of us that to create we need to let go of what's not necessary. The human body cannot function if there's waste material within us, if we don't purge. Okay, so Pluto teaches us the lesson of letting go. Think of what Herman Hesse said, that some of us think that holding on makes us strong. but sometimes it's about letting go. And this is the lesson, the soul lesson of Pluto, that release, purge, expunge, exterminate, eradicate, let go, okay? And think of Ingmar Bergman's film, okay, The Seven Seals, and there you see Death playing chess with the protagonist, and that's what Pluto does with us. It is watching us forever. Through its different transits, it speaks to us. Pluto is transpersonal, okay? It's a generational planet. So you can study whole generations if you study Pluto in Libra, Pluto in Scorpio. Pluto is now in Capricorn from 2008, and then 2026 Pluto will go into Aquarius. Pluto has an elliptical orbit, so each sign, it doesn't stay for the same period of time. So sometimes it stays up to 30 years in a particular sign. So and it's got like 245 odd years that it takes to complete one revolution around the sun. So this is so important, because Pluto transmutes and transforms. So wherever you're holding on to whatever you don't need, Pluto will come and crash it down. It's very chironic in the sense it teaches us that the poison is the very medicine, like homeopathy, you know. Now with Pluto, there's always a sense of being dwarfed by whatever problems face us. So in each sign, in each house, of course, piecing together the whole story, we may feel dwarfed by our financial situation. We may feel dwarfed by with our siblings and interactions with our family. We may feel dwarfed by our lack of creativity, or tremendous creativity, or tremendous psychic awareness. Pluto, in a way, teaches us about the dark night of the soul. And every time there is a major transit to Pluto and you are affected, or the collective is affected, these transits feel like 500 shades of dark. It's something I made up. Not 50 shades of gray, 500 shades of dark. Okay, Pluto can be insidious, can be nefarious, manipulative. Pluto is big money, okay, big power. That's why the word plutocracy, okay, when it's about displaying your power and controlling people. That's why Pluto ruled Scorpios, can be manipulative. They seek to control, they seek to possess. There's almost a pathological obsessive compulsion with Pluto, if you're not watching it, if it's in a hard aspect. Now Pluto in Aries. Now Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, okay? It's a fire sign, it's masculine. It's all about starting new things. It's about new experiences, new adventure. It rules the head. So Aries is a child of the zodiac, okay? And it's always about me, and selfishness. So I think the Pluto in Aries, it's all about letting go of the ego, and rebirthing a new you that's not just about me. It's almost like Pluto here is helping you grow up and mature and look at your unconscious. Really take that depthful plunge, because Aries doesn't like to really delve deep anywhere. They like to be on the surface, flitting from one experience to the other, because here the soul is new. The soul is just learning new things, experiencing new things. The head, the eyes, all our auditory stimulus. So you are being affected by that. And Pluto here, like I said, it's chironic. So Pluto destroys to only rebuild what is needed for soul growth. So I think with Aries, it's about identity, and the ego identity versus the higher identity, the soul identity. And this is quite profound, because Pluto makes long-lasting changes and really shows us what's lurking in the quagmire of our unconscious, and how can the conscious mind make sense of it, Okay, now Pluto in Taurus. Taurus has to do with materialism. So Pluto here, hard aspect, that can be overt materialism or wounding, that has to do a wounding. It's ironic, I told you, but pain and death of our finances and rebirthing our finances, of course, with squares and oppositions. There could be tremendous hoarding or obsession with materialism with Taurus, or obsession with the way we look. Taurus also is Venusian. Taurus is Venusian, and it also rules the physical body and beauty. So there can be an obsession towards trying to look beautiful, or trying to hold on to youth, almost a pathological need for it. Okay, again, Taurus is very stubborn, and actually in Taurus, Pluto is in fall, as in Pluto is not expressing his energies beautifully, because Taurus hates change. And if Pluto teaches us one thing, it is this: that change is the only permanent thing. Okay, impermanence is the only permanent thing in this reality. Everything is in flux and change and shift, and that's what Pluto is. It's changing, churning the creation process. It's churning it, like recreating it, like a broth, a cosmic broth that Pluto is cooking up. The dance of the planets only symbolize the dance of energy within, as above, so below. So understanding how to let go of overt materialism or overt clinging on to our appearance. I mean, that could be the shadow version of Taurus. It's definitely, Pluto is also all about our sex drive. So in Taurus is anyway very sensual, very, very physical. So there could be a need to overindulge in sex. Okay. And like with Aries, it's always going to be Pluto will help you rebirth the way you connect or have sex with someone. With Aries, it's always fiery, passionate, dominance. Okay, so depending on the aspects, that's what Pluto here is to teach you, teaching you to let go of whatever's toxic or whatever's not working anymore. Now, Pluto in Gemini, Pluto is transmutation, and Gemini is all about curiosity, learning, communicating. So there could be like the rebirth of your communication process, your thought process, or your intellect, or how you learn certain things and put to use your vocational learning. So you could be reinventing that. And if you really go, and third house also, Gemini also deals with siblings. So if there's some deep maybe change in the dynamics or death of a particular way a relationship used to be with your siblings, and if you really delve into it, you can go to Pluto digs deep, so you can get to the psychology and the very crux of it. And Gemini is known to communicate, so with this energy you can very viably communicate whatever this deep feelings that you have, the deep traumas that you faced. Pluto is definitely gives us trauma. Okay, wherever it is, there's always something hidden with Pluto. Pluto also deals with secrets and scandals, remember? So there could be something with Aries, there could be something hidden about your own identity that you want to hide, that you don't want to tell people. With Taurus, maybe you want to hide about your finances, maybe you want to look better than what you have, maybe you want to spend more than you earn, and this can be a very destructive cycle. Now with Gemini, the wounding could also have to do with your brothers and sisters, like you went through some real hell with your brothers and sisters, and you communicated through publishing, because Pluto in Gemini is definitely, I mean, the generation's coming way later, 244, some crazy number, many, many years from now. And this will be a time when we want to communicate about deep things, about things that are occult, things that are hidden, things that you know, we didn't want to bring up. That makes us uncomfortable. There's always, with Pluto, there's always this discomfort that we feel. Now we can use the discomfort and we can transmute it into higher awareness, because ultimately Pluto is here to tell you, hey, become that butterfly, become that phoenix, resurrect from those ashes, become that proverbial beautiful phoenix, you know, that just soars above the mundane world into greater realms of spiritual awareness. Okay, now Pluto in Cancer. Now, Pluto, transformation, death, regeneration, secret, scandals, manipulation, insidious behavior, all this is Pluto, all right? The shadow, the unconscious, okay, everything that is lurking deep within us. So here I think you will need to rebirth your family dynamics, maybe even what you have with your mother and how you interact with her, or if there's been some unresolved issues, you know, that could be triggered with Pluto transits, or with any other transits to your Pluto. It's almost like a diabolical, violent a situation sometimes, you know, and you can't avoid it. You know, something dies, but maybe a new awareness seeps in. If you're having problems with your mother, or if you're having problems in your family or your foundation, or finding security, comfort, then, you know, you may need to reevaluate, reassess your own monologue with yourself, your own awareness. You know, are you in some kind of coercive ideology? Are you in some kind of you know, something that is insidious? You need to purge it, you need to clean it. Okay, now family. Cancer has to do with our breasts. Okay, it's what covers our covers our heart, actually. So, and even according to esoteric astrology, Cancer is the sign from which this wheel of humanity has originated. So the wheel is a very interesting symbol in many cultures, because it symbolizes, like in the zodiac, it's also a wheel. It symbolizes everything is cyclical and the churning of time. Okay, now so with Cancer, there's always this feeling of being inadequate. Maybe, I told you, Pluto makes you feel dwarfed wherever it is. So maybe you feel inadequate to look after your family, or maybe you feel inadequate with maybe not being able to breastfeed. Okay, because Pluto, Cancer, I don't know, this could be interesting to study. As I said, these are generational energies, so you really need to go back and you really need to find all the key triggers, and need to pinpoint the years, and you're going to see that, okay, when Pluto was in Cancer, did we see you know, women not breastfeeding? Could be a possibility, because I always like to see symbols, and I like to really go into it. So all the organs, it rules, and everything, or the physical body is just echoing the cosmos above, you know. So that is very interesting to see how our physical organs get affected by each planet, by different planets and their transits, and how each sign is ruled by a different planet, and the planet that's transiting it is again touching some other organs. So you can then together piece that story. You know, remember, as Chiron said, as Chiron showed us, that the poison is the remedy. Whatever you are compulsively attracted to, or obsessing about, or just clinging on to, if you just transmute that energy, it could take it to a higher vibration, whereby you can really use this energy. Okay, and in Cancer, in Pluto, definitely the sex has to be more than just sex. It has to be more familial, more familiar with someone you're really connected to. And Pluto in Cancer definitely triggers a lot of psychic awareness, a lot of empathy. Cancer is the sign of the mother. So here Pluto is obviously, I mean, if you have Pluto and Cancer, is your mom going to die? Depending on the aspects. I mean, I don't ever predict death, but you can see a pattern. I mean, if somebody's mother has died and if you study their chart, then you can see a pattern forming. Okay, and then you can piece together the story, and that's what astrology is doing. It's giving you the opportunity to really look at what's going on with a different lens. So you're not like, oh, this is happening to me, this is happening. You study the archetypes and you know, okay, this is what I can expect, this is what I need to work with. Okay, and knowing that you need to work with this atomic energy of Pluto, this diabolical, forever changing, shifting. And Pluto is not slow. It's of course a very slow moving planet. It's just slow in the collective, but if you are triggered by Pluto, for instance, back into 2011, Pluto Uranus square, and the day it happened, 11th of March 2011, I mean, it was just totally devastating. It was really, really so devastating for me. And it just happened just like that. Uranus and Pluto together, that conversation that was happening, the tense conversation, the square, absolutely changed my reality in a minute, in a second. Okay, it was hard, it was really hard, but it also grew me up. It helped me become the person I am. So that was a bit about Pluto through these 4 signs. I already made these videos, as I told you, but the sound was not right. Remember this. Let things end. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Thank you. Subscribe, like, comment, share. www.tinahills.com